Today is the first day of our 5-day dive course.
Sadly, we've just left Port Douglas and headed to Cairns. We've finished our 88 days, so now it's time for an adventure.
Yep, the first couple of days is a mix of swimming pool and classroom. Not sure how much I'll be able to film, but then we're off on a Liveaboard boat to get our qualification.
Woohoo. So we're just waiting for the shuttle bus to arrive to pick us up. So let's go.
So you two, be instructed today, so you're going to go around?
Yeah.
And lead. Awesome. All right, come on in guys, we'll go around time to pick up the
So let's go start our training.
So this is the training pool where we're going to be after lunch, but first we're off to the classroom to spend our morning.
Yeah. And what was your name? For the schedule, guys, so pretty much in the next 2 days we'll be doing theory and also water work in the pool. So this morning, guys, we'll focus on the theory, start and do as much as we can, and then this afternoon we'll start jumping in the pool to start learning a little bit all the skills. Most of the thing you're going to be learning during the open water is how to deal with problems. So basically is how to deal with this equipment. What do I do if I got water in my mask? What do I do if I got water in my regulator? What do I do if I lost my body? Like all this kind of stuff is pretty much the skill we're going to be going and learning.
It's lunch all done. We're just getting our equipment now, got our fins. It's time to dive in. So just back at the holiday park that we're staying at now after a successful first day.
So the morning we spent in the classroom just learning the basics and the theory behind scuba diving and how pressure affects you and how you need to equalise as you go down and things like that.
Yep.
And then we spent the afternoon in the pool. So we are very wrinkly now, but yeah, we did the basic skills that you need to be a scuba diver, like being able to change air if you run out of air, getting water out of your mask.
More tomorrow, back in the classroom and the pool before we go on the boat on the third day. See you tomorrow.
Exact same question on the exam, and check number 8.
So that's day 2 complete.
Successful day.
The skills were a little bit harder than yesterday. We started off the day in the pool, practiced some of the stuff we did yesterday, but then also learned how to take our breathing apparatus off, like the backpack thing.
The weight.
Yeah, underwater, even 4 meters down at the bottom of the pool.
But the hardest bit was being able to stay buoyant in the same place for 15 minutes. That was hard.
And then after lunch, we went back to the classroom and just learned a few other things, learned about compasses, some kind of emergency procedures and that kind of thing, and then we finished with an exam which we both passed. Woohoo!
Yay.
Back tomorrow for a 5:50 AM pickup to go on the boat where we finish the rest of our training.
Licence. So hopefully, if all goes well, we'll become qualified early on the second day.
Yeah.
Which means that the rest of the dives will be fun dives, so that means that me and Lee can just go together.
Without anyone else. See you in the morning.
Matt's going to be your dive supervisor.
Morning, guys.
He's going to look after pretty much all the diving, all the schedules, all the jokes, all that sort of stuff. I'm pretty much just a glorified bus driver.
Welcome to our cabin. We have Lee's bed up here, my bed down here, and we have Nemo, aircon, and 2 outlets and 2 USBs, and most importantly, life jackets. Room tour complete.
So we just had our briefing for the morning, what the itinerary is looking like for today. We're just driving a couple of hours and then we're going to go snorkeling first because the dive master Flo, she needs to check out the dive site first with the certified divers. So we're just going to go snorkeling for a bit, and then we're going to have lunch, and then we start our first scuba of the day about 2 p.m. I believe.
And then we have 2 more after that.
Yep, we've already set up all our gear ready for now. Got a bit of free time, so time for a nap. But we also need to check that I can fit in this bed.
I just have to try and straighten it out.
It's alright.
Oh, it's perfect.
That nap was needed. But I'm all coffeeed up now and ready to go snorkeling. Well, that was interesting.
Exciting first snorkel.
So the current is super strong, and they all said that we need to hold onto the rope, which we did. But literally, the people that didn't just went flying, like, I think the guy said like 80 meters away from the boat. The current just took them. Some girl was waving her arms, using the wrong signals, as if she was drowning, but she really just wanted to be picked up. So everyone was getting quite annoyed. And yeah, from the rope you couldn't really snorkel or see much, so we just came back and flew the drone. But yeah, interesting one.
I'm glad that was the one we snorkeled and not dived though. Successful first dive in the ocean. We smashed it. We went down not too far, 10 meters for 35 minutes. But yeah, it was good. We saw a stingray, which I think is that.
Yeah.
Stingray. We saw some dories. We saw a big giant clam.
Yeah, it was so good. And we just practiced the same stuff again that we did in the pool, like taking the mask off, putting it back on, clearing it with water.
Yeah, so most of it was just going through skills again, but because we had some time left, we did a little swim around the coral.
Yeah, that was really good. We've only got about 30 minutes until our next dive. So that's dive 2 of the day complete, which is our final dive for today. It was pretty good. Had a little bit more troubles with my ears and equalising them this time, but all fine. But yeah, today we just did some more skills. We practiced giving each other oxygen underwater and navigating with a compass, which was pretty cool.
And doing an emergency
ascent
to the top.
Yeah, without having any oxygen, just blowing bubbles. But now it's time for dinner, so let's see what Chefy has cooked up. So tonight for dinner we've got butter chicken. Dinner was very nice. Then I spent some time on the sun deck, flying my drone, catching the sunset. And then we had our briefing for tomorrow's dives, what we're going to do and that kind of thing.
And it turns out we've pretty much passed all the skills so far to become an open water diver, but you have to do 4 dives before you pass.
All this swimming and scuba takes it out of you. I think
we only did 2 dives today. How are we going to do 4?
I know.
I'm shattered.
Early night tonight. We'll see you tomorrow, where hopefully by the end of the day I'll actually be able to bring the GoPro and show you what we can see.
Fingers crossed.
Good night.
Good night. I slept pretty well.
Yeah, not too bad. Rocking me to sleep.
Yeah, I felt like a baby being rocked to sleep. It was nice.
Yeah.
But it is 6:42 in the morning, and we start our first dive of the day in 20 minutes.
Okay, that was the best dive that we've done so far.
100%.
That was amazing.
So this morning we moved to Flynn Reef, which isn't far from the reef we were at before, but it like drops off into the like open ocean.
Yeah.
So there's like a big coral reef there.
Yeah, so we went further than we had before. We went about 15.5 meters, and we descended without using the rope this time, just ourselves, like pretty cool.
Just like that.
Just like that. And there were just ridiculous amounts of coral, like so beautiful, so colourful. And then
the fish, we were just chilling at the bottom doing some skills, and then we look up and there's like 30 massive parrotfish.
Honestly, like
the
a metre
ones with,
long.
Like the big bumps on them, they're like 1.5 meters long, just swimming above us.
Yeah.
We were like, wow.
It's like something from a film. But yeah, honestly, the feeling of diving is just incredible. You just feel completely weightless and you just
Free.
let your whole body go and you just swimming along,
Yeah.
floating. But it's time for breakfast now, and that's the first dive of the done day. We're doing 4 today, 1 more training dive, 1 dive just me and Laura, and then 1 night dive which is guided.
Hungry.
Hungry. So after every dive we have to fill out our logbook, just write down what reef we went to and the depth and time that we spent. And for the first couple for our training dives we also fill out what kind of skills we did, so cramp release, if someone's got a cramp, how you can help them, snorkel exchange, sharing someone else's air, yeah, other things like that. Hi, we're Lee and Loz and we are certified open water scuba divers.
Yeah.
Woohoo, we
Smashed
passed. That dive was the best one we've done again. They just keep getting better and better.
It was awesome. We had to go down to like 16.5 meters.
Yep.
With our certification.
Yep.
We can go down to 18, but
They wanted to just make
Can't
sure
pass
that we
it.
don't go
Yeah.
over.
so we went to 16.5 and then we just explored a little bit.
Yep.
And we saw a white tip reef shark that was like 2 meters long.
Yep, really
And then
cool, really
we
cool.
saw a flounder fish, which
Flounder.
is one of those flat pancake fishes that goes on the sand and has like 2 little eyes.
Yeah, we saw him
Poking
looking up and then camouflaging. We could barely see him in the sand afterwards. So we've got a couple of hours now. The boat's just moving and we're going to go have lunch in a second. And then we have our first dive as certified divers. Just me, Laura and a third buddy who we're bringing with us.
I was really scared before, but I'm confident now.
And we can finally show you guys some footage of what we've been seeing. What are you doing?
Just looking at my hair and my face, it looked beautiful.
So it looks like today for lunch we've got a macaroni cheese and a veggie sausage roll. And we've got like a pasta salad with some sun-dried tomatoes. I have to say the food on this boat has been very, very good. Yay, our first dive as certified divers. We did not die. It was very good though. We went with a few other people, we all buddied up. We didn't go too deep. The maximum depth we could have gone was 14 meters. We went about 12.
I saw a shark. Lee didn't manage to get it on camera.
Yeah, I wasn't close enough.
Saw a little puffer fish.
But a very nice dive for our first one without an instructor. Next up is our night dive, which we're unfortunately not allowed to bring the camera.
What makes it worse, it's Halloween night and we're doing a night dive. I'm scared enough as it is.
Might be Jaws out there. We survived the night dive.
Ooh, that was the scariest bit of the trip for me.
It was good though. Very peaceful.
Yeah, more I was scared before we did it, but once my head was under the water and it was just peaceful, I was like, ah.
We're all getting ready and they give you a flashlight which you attach to your right wrist. And then you also have a light on the back of your air tank just to help guide the team that you're with. Then we went down the rope and then yeah, so we just went around and we had little signals for stuff, like we would swirl the torch around stuff if we saw something cool.
But we didn't really see anything
Yeah,
cool.
we didn't, you know, she gave us this talk before about all the stuff we could see, but unfortunately we didn't see any of that. But
It was still good.
definitely a cool experience.
But it was weird, I was really scared before, but just, yeah, as soon as I was in, bliss.
Bliss, except, so you're in buddy pairs next to each other. They said about signalling your buddy if you see something cool. And I was trying to tell Laura that I saw this huge fish next to her that looked pretty cool, and then she wasn't looking, so I was trying to get her attention, and then I was really trying to get her attention because it was coming closer, and I was like, oh, she looks, she's gonna freak out. And what happens? She turns around and goes, ah, and then looked,
It was like right in my face.
it was literally right next to her, and then she looked at me and she just went,
Whew.
like,
My heart was beating. I thought
Yeah.
it was a shark.
good morning.
Morning.
It's time for our first dive.
It is 5:45 in the morning.
that's all the dives completed.
It's a bit more choppy on the way back.
Just a little bit. The last 2 dives were really good.
I love just being able to go wherever we wanted to.
Just navigating ourselves. But on the last dive, we finally saw a turtle.
Yeah. Well, we actually saw 2. One was just like too shallow for us to go and see, but I thought, ticked it off, we've seen a turtle. But no, the second one, he's swam right next to us.
Yep, but we're nearly coming back now, so that'll be all from us. And dive course was a success. What an amazing experience.
I had the best 3 days ever.
Yeah.
And now we can dive wherever we want to dive.
We are divers.
Jeez.
But we'd highly recommend getting your open water cert if that's what you're
With Pro
into.
Dive, we loved it.
Very good.
And Flo was the best instructor ever.
Yep. Have a good one, guys. See you in the next one.